जैसे कि एक पक्षी को पिंजरे में कैद कर दिया जाता है तो कैसे फड़फड़ाती है। आज़ादी क्या होती है और कैद क्या होती है, मैंने बखूबी उससे मैंने एहसास किया है।
That one hug from him, the one sight of him just, made us all smile and cry so badly that day.
पहला ख्याल यही आ रहा था कि बेटी मिलेगी, बेटी से मिलूंगी। एक सुकून वाली सांस होती है जो वहाँ घुटन हो रही थी, वो सांस का बहुत इंतज़ार था बेसब्री से।
आज़ादी सही में जो 47 के समय थे वो महसूस कर रहे होंगे, नहीं तो मैं महसूस कर रहा हूँ। पुनर्जन्म है एक तरह से हमारे लिए।
Since 2014, in the last 5 years, the diplomatic outreach of India carved a new path and gained a renewed momentum. It began with the singular aim to engage with the world and expand India's global footprint, the result of which is witnessed by its many diplomatic milestones that it successfully achieved. An era of new beginning dawned as India overhauled its foreign policy by making it more people-centric, with its reinvigorated approach of India First and Indians First. This positively impacted the life and future of millions of Indians living across the planet. The welfare of its diaspora took the center stage.
जितना हक हिंदुस्तान में रहने वाले हिंदुस्तानियों का है, उतना ही हक यहाँ पर रहने वाले मेरे देशवासियों का।
The consequence of this major shift in its foreign policy have been witnessed as an unprecedented 2 lakh Indians along with foreign nationals stuck in difficult situations across the globe have been brought back safely to their homeland, India. One of India's biggest diplomatic milestones ever achieved.
हमारी जो इंडिया का एमएससी बहुत राहत दिया है, हम लोगों को बहुत सुरक्षा जगह पर पहुंचाया है।
Indian government nicely supported us. That is reason we are going to come back to our place.
I feel really good. I feel safe.
From single rescue mission to mass evacuation, the Ministry of External Affairs reached to all Indians stranded in foreign lands. In the last 5 years, these missions have redefined heroism and patriotism, firmly placing the welfare of Indians abroad the core of its foreign policy. This is the story of New India, the responsive India and a resurgent India. India first, Indians first. June 2014. Soon after the new government came to power in India, it faced a situation where thousands of Indians were trapped at various cities of Iraq following the Iraqi civil war. As the news reached New Delhi, the Ministry of External Affairs immediately swung into action. Without any delay, 24-hour emergency helpline was set up in Indian Embassy in Baghdad and MEA, New Delhi. To provide assistance to Indians stuck over there, special camps were set up in Najaf, Karbala and Basra in Iraq. Back in India, the Prime Minister set up a standing group chaired by Foreign Secretary, which had Defence Secretary, Finance Secretary, Home Secretary, Secretary Overseas Indian Affairs, Secretary Civil Aviation and Secretary Shipping as its members. Monitoring the situation closely, the Ministry of External Affairs issued travel advisories to Indians on different dates: 15th, 24th and 28th of June 2014, advising them to avoid travel to Iraq. In order to strengthen embassy efforts, 25 additional staff members were sent to Embassy of India in Baghdad. Several Air India special flights were flown to the region for bringing home the stranded Indians. Many foreign nationals also were evacuated by Indian authorities. As a result of this massive and prompt effort by the Government of India, 4,900 Indian nationals were finally brought back safely to India, out of which 3,900 citizens were assisted with air tickets as well. The Ministry of External Affairs, through a joint initiative with Indian Railway, dropped each individual survivor to their home destination safely and on time.
वहाँ तो बहुत मुसीबत में से आदमी निकल कर गया है। भारत सरकार हमारा खोजा है, इसलिए हम लोग वापस आ गए, नहीं तो उधर मर जाते।
The following year, the MEA undertook an extraordinary rescue operation, one of its kind in the world, to bring back thousands of Indians stuck in Yemen. March 27, 2015. The severe unrest in Yemen led to enormous civilian casualties. An estimated 6,000 Indians got stuck in this war. The challenge facing the Indian government was to safely bring every Indian back to their homeland. Thus began the quick planning and execution of one of the biggest rescue operations ever witnessed in the world, Operation Rahat. The Ministry of External Affairs leading it from the front. So huge was the operation that Indian Navy and Air Force were brought in. Just 4 days later, on 1st of April, the evacuation began. Most embassies shut their offices except India. As the world sat over and observed the situation, India began Operation Rahat to safely bring every Indian back to their home. Not only Indians, but 1,000 nationals from 41 nations were evacuated safely from Yemen.
This is part of our national philosophy that we must assist everybody who seeks assistance. And to that extent, anybody who sought assistance from us, we have helped them.
So massive was the rescue operation that the government of US announced that any US nationals stuck in Yemen should get in touch with Indian authorities to get themselves out of Yemen.
And I'd like to thank the Indian people for bringing us home. Thank you very much.
I absolutely can't say enough about the Indian government for helping us to get out of Yemen.
बस खाली इंडियन लोगों की जान नहीं बचा है, हमारे इंडियन नेवी वालों ने और शिप वालों ने बांग्लादेशी और इंडोनेशियाई लोगों को भी लेके आए हमारे साथ.
The Government of India, which has been flying these emergency planes,
they have been doing this against all odds.
The entire world united in praising India's success in Operation Rahat, an unprecedented rescue mission ever witnessed in the world. Just a few days later, in the same month of successful completion of Operation Rahat, Nepal was hit by a devastating earthquake in which tens of thousands of lives lost in just one stroke. India was the first country in the world to reach to the affected areas with food and other essential items. A total of 6,500 people were safely evacuated, out of which 3,975 were Indians. A one-of-its-kind operation ever undertaken in the world.
Indian Embassy in Nepal was fantastic. They were there to help. Indian Air Force, they sent a plane to evacuate us. But let me tell you, it was death at very close quarters.
Owing to the enormity of such operations from time to time, The evacuations have happened by all possible means, through land, air and sea. No matter what the situation has been, in any part of the world, the Ministry of External Affairs has always safeguarded the life of every Indian in all situations. One such situation was in the life of an Indian citizen who got stuck in Pakistan. May 2017. That one visit to Pakistan changed everything in the life of Uzma Ahmed. She went to meet with her friend Tahir Ali, a Pakistani national who forced her to marry him. She somehow got in touch with High Commission of India in Islamabad and stated her overall condition. The Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi was determined to bring the daughter of India back to her own country. It started to pursue the case with full force. Back in Pakistan, the case went to the High Court.
उस टाइम पर मुझे ये भी नहीं पता था कि मैं वहाँ से आ भी पाऊँगी या नहीं आ पाऊँगी। वहाँ पर बहुत सारे एलिगेंस थे जो मुझ पर लगाए जा रहे थे।
पाकिस्तान में फंसी भारत की बेटी उज़्मा हिंदुस्तान लौट आई है।
Eventually, on May 25th, in just 25 days, MEA successfully brings back the daughter of India. It keeps its promise. Uzma finally touches the soil of India at the India-Pakistan Wagah border.
उस वक्त एक फ्रेश एयर थी कि एक सुकून दिखाई दिया था और जो एक खुशबू थी अपनी मिट्टी की उसको मैंने सजदा किया था। अब मुझे कोई डर नहीं है। सुषमा मैम मेरी डॉटर साथ ही आए थे मुझे रिसीव करने के लिए। वो बहुत हैप्पी मोमेंट था।
Today, Uzma lives with her love of life, her daughter Falak. In her own home, in her own country, she is now secure and free. Almost 3,000 kilometers from Pakistan, where Uzma almost lost herself, 40 Indian workers were in prison of the holy city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia in July 2013. Naushad Alam was one of them who had gone to Saudi Arabia to work as an electrician. In June 2014, the External Affairs Minister promised that all Indians in this case would be brought back to India within 15 days. The diplomatic channels of both the countries swung into action. The External Affairs Minister personally met with the Saudi prince and requested him to waive off the fee and release the jailed Indians at the earliest. The hope lived. On 14th day, Naushad along with other fellow Indians touched down the soil of India.
जब अपनी सरजमी पे आए, जब दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट पे उतरे तो वैसी खुशी तो हमने कभी महसूस ही नहीं किया।
Today, Naushad is a free soul. He lives in Mumbai and continues to work as an electrician. Life for this young man in his mid-20s, who has already seen his worst days, has got a completely new meaning now. Since 2014, in these 5 years, from individual to groups, the Ministry of External Affairs has successfully reached out to all Indians stuck in unsafe situations across the world and brought them home. Father Tom, a priest from Kerala, was kidnapped from Yemen by ISIS, a dreadful terrorist organization. He was brought back alive after 18 months of captivity.
I thank God Almighty for making this day possible.
Sister Judith, an Indian national, was abducted by terrorists from Afghanistan and never hoped to see life again. Against all the odds, the Government of India brought her back alive.
we are very grateful to the Government of India and especially to Ma'am Swaraj.
In an unprecedented operation, 46 Indian nurses were brought back alive from the captivity of ISIS in Iraq.
मुश्किल था, but after they handed over us, they saved us, and about all the other things they did well.
We feel tension, but in the government is done a good job for us.
Under Operation Sankat Mochan, 154 Indians were evacuated from the war-torn Sudan.
परेशानियां तो काफ़ी थी, हम सब नीचे लेटे हुए थे, 4-5 days. It was very terrible.
There is no food there, we cannot even come out, there is nothing there. That's why we approach our Indian government and our ambassador.
सबसे पहले इंडियन एयरफोर्स आया और हमें वापस लेके आया. So heads off to Indian Air Force, Indian Army and Government of India.
Over the years, almost 7,000 Indian nationals have been brought back safely to India from the gruesome civil unrest in Libya.
I would like to thank all the Indian government and Embassy of Tripoli, Embassy of Tunis and Ministry of External Affairs. I am thanking everybody, those who are involved here directly or indirectly.
Apart from these, there are scores of other Indians who were successfully repatriated to India. These missions were all possible due to India's newly adopted foreign policy and its successful attempt to forge strong diplomatic relation with the world. The outcome of this paradigm shift in its approach has been witnessed in the life of a merchant navy sailor who got kidnapped by pirates from the Nigerian waters. On 12th February 2016, the sun had almost set in the life of Zankhana Ruparelia Patel. The news of his brother Rohan Ruparelia, a merchant navy sailor, being kidnapped by pirates in Nigerian waters shattered her world. Despair and gloom overtook her as she negotiated to come to terms with the devastating truth. Not knowing what to do, she started sending tweets and mails to the Ministry of External Affairs. Within no time, MEA started the process to get her brother Rohan back. Moment by moment, updates started pouring in.
It brought a lot of confidence to us that there is work happening and that everything that could have been done was done.
At last, after almost 40 days of captivity, Rohan safely returned to India.
That one hug from him, the one sight of him just, made us all smile and cry so badly that day. It was surreal, it was very special.
Today, Rohan is again back in the seas. This incident has forever changed his life and instilled a sense of pride of belonging to his motherland, India.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Government of India, Minister of External Affairs, especially Honorable External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj ji, for relentlessly working to help the Indians everywhere in the world and making sure we are safe and secure, and they are there to help us whenever we need them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Jai Hind.
A few months after this incident, Santosh Bharadwaj, a merchant navy engineer from Varanasi, also got kidnapped by pirates from the Nigerian delta. For Santosh and his colleagues, the most agonizing journey of their life began when they were held in captivity in the jungles of Nigerian delta without proper food and water. As the news reached New Delhi, the Ministry of External Affairs promptly got into action. Every effort was made towards bringing Santosh back to India. It was a tough mission for MEA. Bringing Santosh back from the captivity of pirates from an African jungle was a daunting task. With much perseverance, finally after 45 days, Santosh and his colleagues from different countries got released. The sheer joy of being free and coming back home superseded everything.
बता नहीं सकते कितनी खुशी हुई सबको देखते ही। सभी के आंखों में खुशी के आंसू थे और बच्ची मेरी गले से लिपट गई वहाँ पे। लग रहा था कि अब नया जीवन एक तरह से मिला है हमें।
Other than repatriation, there are several challenges which people encounter in a foreign land. This time, it was a medical emergency. Sudhish KM, a merchant navy engineer from Kerala, met with a fatal accident while on duty. To save his life, his right leg had to be urgently amputated.
In my rarest dream also, I never thought that I would be going for an amputation.
The exigency was such that his family had to urgently fly to Mexico. However, his wife did not have any passport. MEA, without wasting any time, sent officers of Indian Embassy in Mexico to attend Sudhish. In no time, passport was issued to Santosh's wife, Sangeeta, and she was made to fly to Mexico on the same day.
It is the first incident in Indian history, a passport issued within 1 hour of time after the application.
The world comes alive for Sudhish the moment he sees his wife in the hospital almost 15,000 kilometers from India.
Always thankful to MEA for giving me such a support in that critical condition. It is really a great thing. As a common man, I would say, yes, government is helping.
It was very sense of belongingness, sense of pride, sense of care from the government side. I feel very, very privileged to be a part of this country.
Geeta is a deaf and mute girl from India. She was merely 8 years old when she unknowingly crossed over to Pakistan, away from her family on Samjhauta Express, the only train that connects India and Pakistan. Not able to remember her whereabouts, including her parents, Geeta started to live in an NGO in Pakistan. Her constant inner struggle of not knowing her parents and not able to communicate effectively overshadowed her life. The case resurfaced after almost a decade. This time, under the present regime, MEA persuaded it with full vigor to bring another daughter of India back to her homeland. Finally, Geeta landed in India after more than 10 years. Today, under the Government of India, she is being empowered with education. Gradually, in this cacophonic world, she is finding her own voice. Today, leaving the past behind, they all are enjoying the sunshine of their life. To them, the architect of their second life has been this vision of a new India, of keeping India first and Indians first in all circumstances. A dream fulfilled by the Government of India.
तो मेरे लिए मेरा अकेले का घर नहीं है, मेरे लिए आज पूरा देश, पूरा भारत घर बन चुका है.
I am absolutely glad about being an Indian.
मैं वहाँ से निकल के आया हूँ एक बार. समय जो पहले था उसको मैंने हरा दिया है.
मेरा मुल्क मेरे लिए पूरा आन बान शान है, इसलिए कि ये मिट्टी से ही मैं बना हूँ, इस मिट्टी में ही पैदा हुआ हूँ और इसी मिट्टी में दफन भी होना है.